everybody. It's Coach Ross with Coach Ross Football. Been a while since I made a video. I'm going to be trying to go ahead and make some more now that football season is finally over with. About a month out from football, our football season ending, and I needed some time to kind of decompress a little bit before I got started and made some more videos. So I'm going to start up here again, kind of talking about some of the stuff that I talked about before when I made videos, but now it's going to show what changed, what worked, what didn't work, and some of the basics in our air raid offense that we run. We had to make some changes and do some things a little bit differently because we only had two coaches, so it made it a lot harder to coach everything how we wanted to and what to include. So we had to really simplify the offense this year because it was just that much harder to practice because we only, like I said, I only had two coaches. So first video we're going to talk about here is our four verts. So our four verts play in our offense scored the most touchdowns, and also the most 2-point conversions that we had. We used the four verts in the red zone as well, and even from the 3-yard line. We were blessed enough this year to have two outside receivers at our X and our Y position that were exceptionally tall, that we could just throw basically jump balls. So one of the things we did in our pat and go every day was we were working on high point of football, especially with our taller receivers that usually played our X and Y positions. So here we are looking at our four verts out of our ace formation. And if you've seen my previous videos or you've seen me talk with Matt Lasker, I kind of teach it the same way. I kind of stole it from him, you know, what he taught with the 7 yards off is how we teach it as well. Again, we tell the quarterback, and this is something I stole from Coach Patrick Taylor. He's got 4 questions the quarterback does when he comes to the line. First one is who's open right now. Second question that he asks is that who's the 2-3 read. Is the third one is if there's a blitz coming, and then fourth is backside. Now again, a couple of those you don't necessarily need to worry about with four verts, at least in our offense you don't, because it doesn't necessarily technically have a backside to this play because it's not a concept play because all receivers are doing the same thing on both sides. And this is obviously a blitz beater too. So we run this play the most, and we scored the most touchdowns with it. So rules are, again, quarterback's still coming to the line. Before he's even starting his cadence, he's looking to see, he's scanning the defense from left to right, and he's asking himself, who's open right now? Do I have a receiver open right now? And if I do, who is it? And again, we want the easiest throw, the quickest throw, the shortest throw, the safest throw. Okay, so even though this is four verts, we're not looking to throw it deep every single time. Okay, that will come once the defense adjusts, but we are trying to hit the safest throw, the quickest throw. I think Joe Salas said, a lot of these quick little throws here are one missed tackle away from a big play. So we're in a huge gain, even a touchdown. So we live by that philosophy. So again, we're looking to see who's open right now. Receivers are coming to the line. They're asking themselves if they're open right now or when am I open. They need to know when they're open on four verts. Okay, they have 2 areas of grass they need to find, and that depends on what the defense is doing. So our rules are, if that defender is 7 yards or more off the receiver, they are considered open. So for example, if I move this corner back, okay, right now X is considered open. Okay, so what he would do, instead of running his vertical, he then turns that route into a 3-step hitch, and his grass that he is trying to get to where he's open is in front of the defender. Now, if that defender then comes down and is within 7 yards, then that receiver's route now is to find that open grass behind the defender. So he's going to outside release and restack and then get to the open grass behind the defender. And that's when he will be open. So the rules are the same for all receivers. When are they open? Okay, they have two areas of grass they can find, okay, depending on how the defense is aligned to them. So again, we either have the three-step hitch or we have the outside release vertical that each receiver can run. And the quarterback, again, is looking for the the easiest throw. Now, in certain situations, okay, it does dictate the quarterback necessarily kind of have to make a read. Okay, so for example, if all receivers are open, so if all defenders are back, say we've hit the long throw quite a bit, so they're worried about getting beat deep, and we see something like this, all four receivers are running their three-step hitches. Now, what we tell the quarterback to do is do the safest, quickest throw, which if all receivers are open, the safest, quickest throw is either to the H or the Z. And typically our best athlete that we will have on the field, the fastest guy, typically is at our H position. So usually what we like to do is tell the quarterback to look H first, then Z if this is the scenario. Now, obviously, if the scenario changes a little bit and he's up, then he's going to look here at Z. If they're like that, then quarterback can choose X or Y right now or open right now. So that's automatic. He's got to throw that. Now, if things change in this is the scenario where no receivers open right now, then both receivers are going to run, all four receivers are going to run their outside release verticals. They're going to restack, making sure that we don't bunch up a lot. Sometimes we have problems with receivers bunching up, so we tell them with landmarks, outside receivers restack on the numbers, and our slot receivers then try and restack on the hash marks. Now, in this situation, the quarterback has to make a read, and we tell the quarterback to read the safety. Okay, so if they're running verticals, quarterback's read is the safety. And depending on which way this safety breaks, will determine where the quarterback's going to throw. So his read will just go in order. So it'll go H, Z, F. If no receiver is open right now that he can throw his three-step hitch to, he's going to go H, Z, F. So depending on which way this safety breaks. Now, this safety breaks straight back and just drops a bit, straight back and stays center field. Then quarterback can hit H right over the top. And again, this is not a 40-yard throw. This is literally he's throwing 10 yards over top of the linebacker and having it drop, trying to have it drop right in front of the safety. So this is not a 40-yard bomb down the field. Okay, so we don't need them to be throwing 40 yards down the field at all. Right? This is literally a 10 to 15-yard throw over the depth of the linebackers and trying to drop it right in front of the safety. So it's not a lofted ball up in the air down the sideline. It's literally a line drive throw, just enough height to clear the linebacker depth. And we are trying to, again, hit that player in stride and trying to get that ball into that playmaker's hands as fast as possible. Okay, so again, if all receivers are covered, then again, the read is H, Z, F. And just like that. They look at our early formation forwards right here. And as you can see, it's a little bit different. Rules still apply. The only rules that kind of changes is for our H. Our H is automatically always going to run what we call a crosser. Basically, it's the same kind of route as you would see in Y cross, okay, where the rule is that H will run a play or the route, and we call it under Sam over Mike. So he's going to go under the outside linebacker, and then he's going to go over the Mike, and it's about a 10 to 12-yard crosser. He's trying to get to the other sideline as fast as possible. Okay, it's not a shallow cross. All right, so he's trying to clear the depth of the linebackers. And we tell the quarterback that this route will pop open somewhere right behind the depth of the linebackers, as long as he makes sure that he goes under the Sam and over the Mike. Okay, so all of the rules apply. Again, quarterback is still coming to the line, and he's looking at these other three receivers. Who's open right now? Who is open right now? Again, and if the rule is there, and that receiver, that defender has 7 yards, a 7-yard cushion, then that receiver will run a 3-step hitch and get the ball right away. And technically, this receiver could run a 3-step hitch as well, and we will hit that play in easy fashion and quick, easy yards. That's what we're looking for. That's definitely what we're looking for. As far as landmarks, it's basically the same. Now that we have our X kind of compresses in a little bit more. So what we do is we have his landmark basically is the hash marks. Same as ZZ is going to line up on the hash marks, and Y will line up basically at the top of the numbers. And if they're running a vertical, they're going to restack on the numbers, essentially on the top of the numbers. Z is going to restack on the hash. Same with X. If they're running their vertical, they're going to restack there. Okay. H again is always automatically going to run his crosser. Okay, and a lot of times we hit this route pops open within the first few steps that he's running his route, and typically the quarterback will hit it right in here. He wants to hit that play in the middle of the field, and definitely in front of the safety. Okay, we actually got to cut up with that one. That one hitting for an easy touchdown. Same rules apply though. Now if all receivers are covered or no one is open right now, then the quarterback looks again. Same thing will be HZF. So he'll look crosser, look vertical, and nothing's there. He swings it out to F. On the opposite side, we always have our tailback or our running back align to the opposite of the trips. Now we can be with a hand signal, we can make a change either way or just based off the play. That running back can change the opposite side of the quarterback, but typically we have them aligned to the opposite side of the trips formation, just so it gives us a little bit more leverage to the outside here in case we need to throw off a quick swing pass. So it allows us to do that. So this is what 4 verts looks like in early, just from the opposite side. The same thing. This is late 4 verts. Okay, same thing. He's running his crosser under Sam over Mike crossing route. All right, and even if he doesn't like throwing the hitch, typically this H route, this crossing route is open almost every single time, especially when this corner bails. Okay, a lot of times what we'll see is the safety shade over, so there's no safety help. And if this corner runs with Y, H is essentially all by himself. Again, this is typically our fastest player on the field, so we like our chances against typically what we see is we see a linebacker lined up against him. We like our chances with him easily being able to outrun the linebacker to a spot. A lot of times too, though, we also tell the quarterback to look backside, or not necessarily backside for forwards, but look at the one-on-one. Okay, like I told you earlier in the video, we were blessed to have 2 very athletic, tall receivers on our outside. So a lot of times what we looked at is when we went to our early and late formations, we looked to our one-on-one receiver because we were going to win that matchup 9 times, almost 10 times out of 10. So we looked there a lot. A lot of times too, when we played teams, what we saw is instead of them bringing over another linebacker, what they would do is typically drop this linebacker down, keep these linebackers in. This linebacker would stay there right in here, and the safety would then cover the H, and there was technically no safety help. And a lot of times we saw this linebacker coming on a outside blitz, weak side blitz, almost every single time. Doesn't matter what team that's was their rule for whatever reason. Their rule was to send that outside linebacker on a blitz to the weak side. But a lot of times what we saw teams cover our H receiver with their safety, which left no safety in the middle of the field because we only saw one high safety all year long. So when we saw that, then we definitely took advantage of the middle of the field because it was essentially nothing that safety could do, especially when he played off. And typically what we saw is I saw that safety almost automatically 8 yards back, but he was covered. He was responsible for our H receiver, which is typically our best athlete, like I said. And with nobody in the middle of the field, we were able to take advantage of that as well. So a couple little rule changes regarding four verts out of early or late, but definitely our biggest hitter as far as most productive play that we had this season. First clip we got here is four verts out of our ace formation here. Okay, as we're looking here, all receivers are not open right now. As you can see, they're all well within 5 yards. But we definitely saw, and quarterback saw it too, is that this outside linebacker right here, if you can see him right here, was on our Z receiver, which is one of our better athletes. And we saw the way he was aligned that he wasn't able to stay with our inside receiver. So quarterback definitely saw that, and they communicated on the sideline as well that they would be able to hit that easy. And quarterback just takes a one-step drop and puts the ball running over the top. Again, with this, all receivers are running their verticals, outside release, and they're just restacking, just getting vertical. Okay. Running back should be running a swing. He kind of runs and just stays put. He should be getting outside because what that typically does, that will drag another defender out of the box for us too as well. So, but we're going to go ahead and play this quick show to you. One step and he just drops it right in. So back here real fast. You can see safety is right here. He's way deep, middle of the field. We watch what he's doing. Again, quarterback's reading the safety. Quick peek. He takes a quick peek, and by that point, it's already over. He can't get over fast enough. The ball's already on its way. Touchdown. And again, it's just a one-step drop. Just a one-step drop, and quarterback's taking a quick look, and then he's letting the ball go. And out here, same thing. We got our ace formation right here, and running four verts. We're basically right inside the red zone right here. Again, we had the luxury of two very athletic receivers on the outside that could go up and make a play. They really could. And our quarterback, as the year went on, gained more and more confidence that he could just throw the ball up there and they'd go and get it. So here's just another example. Again, we're looking safety because right now no receiver is open. They're playing us pretty tight. And this is even after we've already scored on a forward play in this same game. They still wanted to play us tight and really did not give us anything underneath very often. So we had to take advantage of it downfield quite a bit in this game. But again, we had the athletes on the outside that we were able to do that. So again, all receivers are running verticals. Okay, outside releases. And they're stacking. Now he's going to hit. Quarterback's going to hit our X receiver here on a great throw. I know it's kind of a difficult camera angle, but I will play it a couple times just to show you. But the receiver makes a great catching this ball. Again, you see him. He goes up and gets the ball, and that all credit to do is to the Pat and Go every single day. Every single day, high point in the ball. we run and we tell them, and we repeat over and over again, high point that football, high point that football. And you can see this as an example of that paying off. He makes a great play. I'll just go ahead and rewind it. One step, ball's gone. The only thing I didn't do, or I did do, and when I rewinded it back, when I watched the film with this with my quarterback later, I want you to, pay attention to our H receiver right here. No one moving on him right here. He's completely wide open. So I think quarterback had his mind made up before the ball was even snapped that he was going to our X receiver. But as you can see, H is wide open. So needless to say that we took notice of that, and we actually saw this in game. We actually noticed this. H came over and told me, Coach, they're not covering me on 4 verts. So this is another example of 4 verts. This one's out of early right here. A lot of teams this year for us did not give us soft coverage. As you can see, we saw a lot of this coverage where defenders are pretty close to the line, where when it came to running the 4 verts, there were very few times where we actually hit the hitch. Right? A lot of teams just played us really, really close. And even when we hit stuff down the field, they still wanted to play us tight coverage, and still were wanting to making us challenge them deep. And we did. But very few times did we pull off the hitch this year, where we just were able to, receivers recognized that they were open and they just turn around and grab the hitch. Very few times was that. So here early, again, vertical, outside release, vertical. Same thing here. He's going to get on the number, or on the hash marks. He's supposed to be on the outside numbers. This is our backup H. He's supposed to be running a crosser this way. And X here, just another vertical, one-on-one. Okay. And our running back is swinging out this way. I'm almost positive, though, our backup H on this particular play does not run a crosser. He basically just runs a vertical straight to the field. He didn't get as many reps as we would have liked running this play in practice. But the quarterback does throw to our wide receiver, which is our outside receiver here. And again, credit goes to working on high point in the football every single day with Pat and Go. Right? We constantly tell them, high point that football, high point that football. And like the last clip I just showed you, and this clip as well, it really pays off when it almost becomes muscle memory. These players do it so much in practice that when it comes to a game, it just translates back over. So here it is. There's just a touchdown. Again, back it up. And this is all just credit to high point in the football every day in practice. Just goes, locates the ball, and gets up and goes and gets it. And again, we had the luxury of some receivers, some outstanding receivers on the outside that were very athletic and very tall, and they could jump. So that definitely worked to our advantage. But we would make a tag off this when we would tag a fade. And basically what it was telling the quarterback, you can throw it, you're automatically throwing an extra Y because we see something. All this is just a fade. And he's just going to the back pylon, and quarterback's just throwing it up. Both inside receivers or both our slot receivers are still running their verticals. But quarterback is picking and choosing either X or Y on a fade, because again, we had luxury of some very tall receivers on the outside. They could go out and make a play. So we tagged this quite a bit, and we scored quite a bit on this, where we would just run this in the red zone and just throw a fade. We'd use this for a 2-point play from the 3-yard line, just fade, just turn and throw the ball up to the back pylon and let the receiver go out and make a play. And so here's another example of that. He catches it. It's hard to see. Excuse the bad camera work. This is early 4 verts, and again, out of early, our receivers, he's running crosser here. He's got the vertical, and another vertical. and he's got the swing. Okay, so again, in this progression, he's going to look H, Z, F right here. But when you see the alignment of the defense right here, this player right here is their safety. No, excuse me, this is their safety right here. They bring over a linebacker, and they keep linebackers in, and they send a blitz on the outside, and there is nobody in the middle field because they bring the safety over. And again, that's exactly where we want to hit them. We tell the quarterback, if they move that safety over, middle of the field is wide open, and receiver knows where his grass is. This is just from running this play over and over and over again. He knows where his grass is. He needs to find his grass, and again, receivers are always asking, when am I open? Where am I going to be open? They need to know. So this receiver here is saying, I'm open deep. This receiver, he kind of has pick and choose what he want to do. He could run his 3-step hitch, or he can run his vertical. And this receiver here, he's matched up, so his grass is there. But H receiver right now is just seeing his open grass right in the middle of the field, right by the ref. And we hit it pretty quick. And this is basically just a gimme here. And with our fastest player, which again, like I said, is our best athlete, not much this linebacker can do and stay with our best athlete, fastest player on the field in the open field. There's not much he can do. Play one back one more time. And typically what we want to have him do is cross, but he saw the open field right there, and that's where he went. But you can see the linebacker couldn't even stay with him. By the time he tried to turn his hips and go and run with him, it was already over. Great play. Touchdown. I hope you all enjoyed that. Let me know if you have any questions. Be sure to give this video a like. It helps me out. Lets this video get seen to other people. Again, that is our 4-vert play revisited in 2021. It was very, very successful for us. It was our #1 scoring play and the play we ran the most of. Okay, there were some variations to it, as you can see, a couple tags we added to it. But again, a very, very versatile play. And if you have the players and the reps to run it, it works out very, very well. Just make sure that you are practicing the same thing every single day with this play. And it definitely, the payoff is worth the work and practice for it. So again, I hope you all enjoy this. I'll see you soon in the next video.